You think money is about math. You believe it's about hustle. You've been told it's about timing. But I am here to tell you, you're wrong. It is about alignment. It is about vibration. It is about the silent force that surrounds you. And that force is what I call your aura. You do not attract what you chase. You attract what you are. Your aura is your broadcast signal. It is the frequency you emit unconsciously, consistently, and unapologetically. Before you speak, it speaks for you. Before you enter a room, it arrives ahead of you. Before you pitch an idea, or launch a product, or ask for a raise, your aura has already negotiated the terms. So if you are poor on the inside, if you carry doubt in your bones, if your self-talk drips with scarcity, then I don't care how big your dreams are, you will sabotage your success at every turn. This is the law of resonance, and it is non-negotiable. You see, every thought you think emits a signal. Every emotion you hold becomes a pattern. Every belief you adopt becomes a magnetic current, either pulling prosperity toward you or repelling it from your field. You are either a magnet or a repellent. And here's where people fail. They try to fake confidence. They paste on smiles. They rehearse affirmations they don't believe. They act as if but vibrate fear underneath it all. And the universe reads the real signal, not your words, not your dreams, your energy. So let me ask you a question. What are you broadcasting? Because your aura cannot lie, it reflects your truth. If you are constantly anxious about money, the message you send island, I live in lack. If you envy others' success, the message island, there is not enough for me. If you undercharge, apologize for your price, feel guilt for winning, the message island, I do not believe in my own worth. That signal becomes your ceiling, and no strategy will save you until your signal is rewired. Now, let's be clear. Your aura is not some mystical idea. It is a reflection of your emotional habits. It is built through repetition. It is shaped by focus. It is strengthened through mental discipline. You are training your aura every time you think a thought, every time you hold a belief, every time you speak words out loud. Every single one of these becomes part of the field around you. And that field, your aura, is what money listens to. So if you want to attract wealth, stop trying to impress the world. Impress your subconscious. Train your nervous system to feel safe with abundance. Because if your body resists it, you will unconsciously block every breakthrough. Let me tell you something that will sound radical, but is absolutely true. Wealth doesn't start in your wallet. It starts in your imagination. Can you hold the feeling of overflow without seeing the evidence? Can you walk like someone who is already free, even if the world hasn't caught up yet? Most people can't, because they are addicted to external validation. They need proof before they believe. But the wealthy, those who stay wealthy, believe first. They rehearse success in the mind's theater until it becomes inevitable. They build the future internally before a dime shows up externally. That is the secret of energy mastery. And that is how you train your aura to attract wealth. So how do you begin? Step 1, you must reclaim authorship of your identity. You must erase the story that was written for you by broke parents, insecure teachers, cautious friends, and a society that glorifies struggle. You were not born poor. You were trained to think poor. You were conditioned to fear wealth, to associate it with guilt, greed, or corruption. And if you hold these beliefs, no matter how small, you are repelling the very thing you say you want. Money has no loyalty. It flows to those who are most energetically open to it. If your aura is filled with shame, it will run. If your aura is coated in expectation and abundance, it will chase you. So I ask you again, what are you broadcasting? You cannot afford to walk through this world unconsciously. Every sigh, every complaint, every moment of self-pity is training your aura to normalize lack. But every act of gratitude, every minute spent visualizing your financial destiny, every ounce of courage to say, I deserve more, that is how you rewire the frequency. There are no shortcuts, there are no exceptions. This is work, but it is sacred work. Now here's something most people miss. You must not just think rich, you must feel rich. Wealth is not just a number in a bank account. It is an emotional signature. It feels like security. It feels like freedom. It feels like expansion. And unless your body learns to feel those emotions now, you will unconsciously sabotage your wealth when it finally arrives. This is why so many lottery winners go broke. Their vibration didn't match the money. Their aura was still one of fear, confusion, and limitation. And so the money had to leave, because energy seeks alignment. So ask yourself, how can I practice the feeling of wealth today? Even if your account says zero, can you walk with your head high? Can you speak your truth boldly? Can you act like someone who knows their worth without apology? That is wealth training. That is aura training. Let's go deeper now. You must eliminate the people, the habits, and the environments that drain your signal. You can't train a magnetic aura while dining with complainers. You can't build confidence while listening to gossip. You can't think like a millionaire while scrolling through poverty mindset content. What you consume becomes what you emit. So guard your field. Read wealth. Speak wealth. Feel wealth. Surround yourself with those who challenge you to grow, not those who anchor you in fear. Let me tell you the truth no one wants to hear. Sometimes the only thing standing between you and the wealth you desire is the old version of you that refuses to let go, the version that plays small, the version that doubts, the version that wants to be liked more than it wants to be free. That version has a weak signal. That version begs. That version repels opportunity because it cannot handle responsibility. You must shed that version. Not someday, not when it's convenient, but now. The moment you stop apologizing for your power, the moment you stop minimizing your potential, the moment you decide to no longer entertain lack, gossip, or emotional chaos, that is the moment your aura becomes undeniable. You walk into a room and people feel it. You speak and people listen. You ask and doors open. Not because you're lucky, but because you've trained your field. Your aura is not fixed. It is flexible. It is shaped by every thought, word, and action. You are always training it, consciously or unconsciously. So train it with intent. Declare every day, I am wealth in motion. I am aligned with abundance. I do not chase, I attract. I release guilt and embrace expansion. Say these not to impress the world, but to reprogram yourself. And finally, trust this. The more you embody wealth, the less you will need to prove anything. You will not need to shout your success. You will not need to flaunt your value. Your aura will speak for you. Train it, strengthen it, respect it, and wealth will respond. You must understand, wealth is not earned by effort alone. If it were, the hardest workers would be the richest. But they are not. And that contradiction should wake you up. It is not sweat alone that unlocks prosperity. It is alignment. You could grind endlessly, run yourself into exhaustion, build businesses, climb corporate ladders, study strategies, but if the signal you're emitting is one of internal poverty, you will sabotage every gain. You will attract betrayal, delays, miscommunication, missed chances. Why? Because your aura doesn't lie. And you may say, but Napoleon, I'm thinking positive thoughts. I'm visualizing success. I'm repeating affirmations. Then I ask you, are you feeling them? You see, this is where most fail. They speak abundance with their mouths, but whisper-like in their nervous system. They chant success in the morning, and by afternoon they are worrying about bills. They meditate for 10 minutes, then spend the rest of the day radiating panic, jealousy, guilt, and scarcity. That is not alignment. That is confusion. And the universe does not reward confusion. It rewards clarity. So let us clarify. Your aura is your emotional default, not your peak state, not your performance on a good day, but your average, your baseline. If you want to train your aura to attract wealth, you must raise your baseline vibration, not occasionally, but consistently. And how do you do that? Through emotional hygiene, through the daily disciplined clearing of mental clutter, through the reconditioning of your beliefs, your emotions, and your habits so they are rooted in truth, not trauma. This means you must remove not just the negative thoughts, but the identity addicted to them. You must kill the part of you that needs to be the underdog, the part that clings to struggle as a badge of honor, the part that equates success with disloyalty to your past. That is the emotional infection blocking your signal. So today, ask yourself, who do I become when no one is watching? What frequency do I return to when I'm alone with my thoughts? What energy do I bring into the room before I even open my mouth? If your answer is anything less than certainty, belief, and dignity, then that is the area that requires your devotion. Now, let's move to a foundational principle, this so simple yet so overlooked. You do not receive what you want. You receive what you believe. Wanting is weak. Belief is powerful. A person who wants success is still anchored in lack. But a person who believes in their success vibrates as if it's already done. And the aura reflects that. It carries the tone of inevitability. That's when people begin to treat you differently. They say, you feel different. They say, something about you has changed. They say, I can't explain it, but I trust you. And they don't even know why. But you know why. It's because you trained your aura to command respect long before you saw results. You became it on the inside before the world could validate it on the outside. And that is the ultimate hack. That is the invisible edge. Now, let me give you a practical law to apply, because philosophy without application is poverty in disguise. Here is the law. Environment is amplifier. Whatever vibration you carry, your environment will amplify it. If you doubt yourself, and you're surrounded by complainers, gossipers, and critics, your self-doubt will multiply. But if you begin to rewire your aura for confidence, and you surround yourself with those who speak life, who move with boldness, who operate in conviction, your signal strengthens tenfold. So train your aura by curating your surroundings. Change your space. Change your company. Change your input. If you spend your days consuming anxiety, you will vibrate anxiety. If you soak in success, you will radiate success. Turn your room into a sanctuary of excellence. Fill it with books, symbols, and visuals that reinforce your future, not your fears. Guard your ears from negativity. Protect your mornings from distraction. Reclaim your nights from emotional drama, because every moment is training your field, and your field is training your results.